Hi, welcome to the math lesson. Today our objective is I will use a model to write a percent and create a model to represent a percent. Now remember, a model is a picture or a visual representation of something, and so today we're going to use models to help us understand percents better. Tomorrow in math, our objective is I will find the percent of a quantity as a rate per 100. So today, your success criteria is this. How will I show that I know it and I can do it? So first, you're going to be able to explain what a ratio and a rate are. Then we're going to learn how to explain that a percentage is a rate per 100. Then we're going to learn how to understand that a percent is a part to total ratio. Then we will learn how to write a percent when we're given a model of 100 total units. And finally, we're going to learn how to model a percent or create a model using a grid of 100 units when we're given a number. Finally, at the end of the lesson today, you should be able to finish your IXL lesson, which is 6S1, what percentage is illustrated, and get 90 points. So really quickly, I just want you to think about what actions can help you learn this objective. And I want you to write that down in your math journal, just thinking about what is going to help you to be a great learner today. Okay, so let's go over some vocabulary words. First, we're going to review ratio. Now, a ratio compares two quantities. So in the ratio pictured on the screen, you have Cheetos and Coke, and you're comparing cans of Coke to Cheetos. And the reason I know that cans of Coke is first is because there's 5 cans of Coke and 4 bags of Cheetos. And so because Coke is first, 5 is first, and Cheetos is the second term, so 4 is the second number. Now each quantity in a ratio is called the term. So these are terms. 5 is a term and 4 is a term. And you also remember that you can write a ratio in 3 ways. So the first way is to write a ratio with a colon. You can also write a ratio with the word to, and you can write a ratio as a fraction. Another vocabulary word is a proportion. A proportion is 2 or more ratios that are equal. And TV screens are really great examples of proportion because the picture has the same proportion whether the screen is little or big. The next the next vocabulary word I want you to know is the word rate. And you've also spent some time learning about rates last week and the week before. But a rate is a ratio that has 2 terms in different units of measure. And there's a really great video that we can watch that helps explain what a rate is. And if you go onto YouTube and Google Rady the Math Cat, you can see that video. Finally, I want you to understand what a unit rate is. A unit rate is a ratio that compares a quantity of 1 unit to another quantity. So in the graphic right here, we have 2 different containers of cashews, which are peanuts, types of nuts. And the Planters is $13.98, and the Great Value is $12.42. When you go to Walmart and you go shopping, on the price tags, there's always a number in the red box on the sticker, and that gives you the price per, usually the price per ounce or the price per pound. It's the unit price. And so the unit price here is for 1 ounce of peanuts. So an ounce is about a handful. The Planters peanuts are 42 cents per ounce, and the Great Value peanuts are 36 cents per ounce. And the reason why the store does that is so to help you as a shopper be able to buy the one that is the most or the least expensive, or to get the most value for your money. So as you can see, the Great Value peanuts are a better bargain. And so that's a unit rate. We're comparing money to 1 ounce of peanuts. So that's why the unit price is listed in red. So you've already learned about how to read and write ratios. Today you're going to learn about a special kind of ratio that's called a percent. In your Canvas lesson today, you have this video from Math Antics, What Are Percentages? Definitely recommend that you watch the video after you watch this because this is a very helpful video to explain what percentages are. So I want you to think in your head, where have you seen percents used in your own life? Now I want you to write some answers on your math journal. Where have you seen percents? Was it at the store, the gas station, maybe in a book? Write your answers in your math journal. Alright, so now we're going to learn about what a percent is. This square has 100 parts. So if I were to count all the little parts or the boxes on the square, I would count 100. Sometimes we call those units. So there are 100 units here. The word percent has two parts to it. Per means for each, and cent means 100. So if you refer to parts of 100, you can name that number as a percent. So percent means per 100. Now a ratio, we know, compares two quantities. So if you look at the graphic, what two things are we comparing here? I'm comparing green, or the green units, to 100 total units. So remember, this entire model has 100 units, and I am comparing the green to the total. Not the green to the white, but the green to the total of 100. This model shows 25 out of 100 squares shaded yellow. So there are 25 yellow squares to 100 total squares. So my ratio is 25 to 100. I can also write this ratio as a percent. What percent is 25 to 100? The answer is 25 to 100 is 25%. So this yellow and white model shows 25%. 25 units are yellow, and there are 100 units total. So now I have another model. What is the ratio for red squares to total squares? Okay, so if I were to count, I know that each of these is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So my ratio of red squares to total squares is 50 red to 100 total. So what percent is the red squares? What percent is 50 out of 100? That answer is 50%. Now remember, the word percent has two parts. Per means for each, and cent means 100. So if you refer to parts of 100, you can name any number as a percent. So what percent represents this shaded part? So I have the blue shaded part. To figure that out, I have to count 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. So my percent is 37%. What percent represents the shaded part here? I took this model right off of iExcel, so this is what you're going to see on your assignment today. Well, I don't even have 10 shaded green, so I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8%. So this model is 8%. Alright, here's another one. What percent represents the shaded part? So I'm going to count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my answer is 88%. So let's review our objective. I will use a model to write a percent and create a model to represent a percent. So we have been reading or looking at these models and then writing the percent that match the model. So now we're going to switch gears and learn how to create models to represent a percent number. So here's the number. The number is 60%, and I'm going to create a model to represent that. And so to do that, I need to get back to my screen. And so I need to shade or show 60 yellow squares that are shaded. And so I'm going to use this rectangle tool. And I know that each row or each column is 10. So in order to get 60, I need to shade 6 of them. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. And I'm going to go all the way down. So now I have 60% shaded yellow. So I've just created a model to represent the percent 60. So let me do that again. Now I want to create a model to represent 43%. So I need to shade 4 columns, 10, 20, 30, 40. So there's 40, but I need 43, so I'm going to have to shade 3 more. And now I have created a model that represents 43%. I'm going to now create a model that represents 6%. Now 6% means I don't even have 10. I don't even have a whole row. I just have 6 units. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is 6%. 6 yellows out of 100 total units. Last one, I'm going to create a model to represent 94%. So I need 9 rows, or 90, so that's all the way over here, and then I need 4 more, and now I have a model that represents 94%. So I just created a model that showed 94%. I have 94 yellow squares and 100 total units in all. So let's look at our objective one more time. I will use a model to write a percent and create a model to represent a percent. So now let's look at your guided and independent practice. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go into iExcel and you're going to open this link, the link that's in your Canvas lesson, 6S1, what percent is illustrated. And you're going to get 90 points. When you finish that, make sure that you've done the math vocabulary. Make sure that you do your discussion for today. And then when you're done with math, you're going to work on your ELA assignments for Monday. And after you finish math and ELA, I want you to go back and look at your iExcel tracker. That tracker is linked on the Canvas homepage. If you go to the home screen and you see there's a wreath in the middle that says iExcel, when you click it, you have all of the iExcel assignments for math and ELA. Make sure that you get all of those finished. And that is what I would like you to do for today. So just remember to call or text if you have any questions. Thanks, boys and girls.